Hey guys, it's Heed coming at you right in the broad daylight. Or broad daylight, but reasonable version. It's very cloudy, it's raining. And hence the umbrella backdrop. So yesterday I was pushing myself at work a lot, and then I have this problem with packing myself a lunch. I have a hard enough time packing the 2 lunches for my kids. And I just can't bring myself to pack myself a lunch too. Like, it's that one more thing that I'm just like, no, it's a bridge too far. But then I can't really go without it. Like, I can't really handle not having it. So like I ended up, I was trying to take care of myself in a sense. I wasn't willing to do the work ahead of time of packing the lunch. But at least I did care about myself when I was feeling so hungry that I was like, I don't know if I can make it anymore. Because I was really pushing myself. And I just really don't want to leave and come back. Well, plus I know that if I leave, I might not come back. Because after I leave, even if I fully intend to come back, after I leave, sometimes it's just like, there's no way I'm not coming back. So, yeah, I went back home, I got some food, but I was stressed about it because I knew that there was like no water at home. And I really wanted Mr. Noodles. I had Mr. Noodles in my mind, like that was the perfect thing, right? Because I didn't want to have the situation where it's like, oh, you gotta find something that you find suitable to eat, you know? So I was like, okay, I have a plan. It's gonna be the standard, the thing I like all the time, safe foods, right? Mr. Noodles. So, but then I was afraid. I was like, hey, what if I get there and there's not enough water to make it? So I was kind of debating. I was like, okay, I really don't want to go to my husband's grandmother's to get the water because I didn't want to have to socialize because I was really not feeling it. So then I thought, well, okay, I don't have to go there to get water. I could get the water at the gas station because I used to work there, so I feel like it's fine. I'm pretty chummy. People know me. And anyway, I don't think people are gonna really care that much that work at the gas station if they're like, hey, someone's using the sink. I mean, who gives a shit, right? Unless it's like an issue that's coming up over and over that it's like, yeah. Anyway, so I decided not to do that though, even though I knew that it risked me getting really upset. Like if I had got home and there wasn't enough water to make Mr. Noodles, I would have been pissed. But anyway, I did decide to just go home because I was like, I really just want to go home. So I went there, ate the noodles, and then it was time to pick up the kids. Like I stayed there till it was time to pick up the kids. I went and picked them up. And then I went back to work. So I ate there, but then I kept on working and I pushed myself. I worked past my normal quitting time. I have an alarm that's set for quitting time, which it's not so strict at the start time, so I can kind of like just get less and less hours as time goes on. If I just start coming in later and later. Yeah, I'm totally in control of my hours, and I couldn't feel less in control of them. Oh my god, it's a gray squirrel. Cool. I don't know if I've ever even seen one of those before. Huh, neat. So anyway, it started going worse. Because then I remembered that I had to pick up the pills for my husband's grandmother. So after work, I was hungry again and tired, and I really wanted to go home. But I also still had to get the water, because there wasn't water at home. So then, I had to get the pills, so I knew I had to do that because it's time, like, the place closes at 6, and I had worked late. So I had to go over to my husband's grandmother's, get her card, in case if there was a cost, and find out what she wanted me to get. So I did. And then I came in, and I know, like, she lives alone, and obviously, like, she wasn't ready for me to come. It's not that I warned her ahead of time. But, I was just so hungry and tired, and I just didn't have it in me to socialize. So I was a bit rude to her. I knew that I was rude, like, because she said, well, just give me a minute here, and it's like, oh boy, like, I was immediately annoyed about that, because I was just like, I just want to get out of here, I want to go home. And then, so she's like, just give me a minute, and she sits down, and then she said, so how's your husband doing? Like, that's her grandson, right? Which, like, yeah, obviously, totally understandable to ask about her grandson. Obviously, that makes sense. But from my point of view, like, I don't think that she did something wrong. But I just wasn't feeling it. Like, so I just tried to tell her that. I tried to say, like, look, I just really want to get going. Like, I'm just really hungry and I'm tired. I knew that the way I sounded, though, was, like, bitchy sounding. Like, it didn't sound nice. I didn't feel like it was, like, I don't know how to bring it across. If I don't just say yes and do whatever you want me to do, I don't know how to talk to you where it doesn't sound like I'm a bitch. Because it's like, I'm not always going to do whatever you want me to do. I mean, I mostly do. But sometimes I'm not going to do it. Like, what if I just can't do it? Anyway, so after that, I felt bad about being rude, obviously. Like, that's not a usual thing for me. I don't usually feel like I've been rude. So I felt bad. Then I left to go to the pharmacy. I got the stuff. I didn't even have to pay for it, so I didn't even need the card. So I didn't even use the card, but I had it in my hand. Then, in between the counter and the car, somehow I had lost the card. So then I was like, oh my god, I was rude to her and now I lost her card? No, this is not happening. So, like, I wouldn't go back. I just didn't go back. Because I was like, I have to find the card. I'm not going to have been rude to her and then lose her card. That's too much. Right? If I'm rude, I at least don't lose your card. Right? So then I spent like half an hour and I got so stressed. Like, I was already feeling bad. And then I got super stressed about this idea of, like, having to go back and say, like, I lost your fucking card. So eventually I found it. I just kept looking. I looked everywhere in the parking lot. I, like, tore my car apart. I was just like, it's impossible for it to be gone. Like, I didn't go anywhere else. It's not like I went to a bunch of places where I could have lost it. I didn't go anywhere else. So then, and then an employee actually found it. She came out to have a smoke and she found it. I was like, thank God. So then I was like, okay, now I can go back to Linda's. And I still had to do more stuff, too. I mean, the grandmother. I still had to do more stuff, too, because I still needed to get vegetables. I had needed to do it for a long time. So then I had to go do a little shopping, which wasn't far. See, I still kept pushing myself, even after that. Like, after I was all shaken up about having lost the card. So then I went to the store to get the vegetables and stuff. And then I went home. So I had water. I had the food. But I didn't have the ability to handle my emotions. So, yeah, I just cracked. I couldn't handle it. So I decided to go in town. I debated kind of on the way what I was going to get. I told my husband, though. I was clear. I didn't just disappear without saying a word, which I sometimes do. So I told my husband that I was going to go in town, and he knew what that meant. That it meant I was going to go buy weed. So I debated on the way if I was going to buy a single pre-roll or 6. There's some containers that come with 6. And I thought that maybe 6 was smart because, like, 1 is good in the sense that it's only 1 and then you can only smoke 1 and then they're gone. But the 1 was needed for that difficult day. Like, I would have for sure smoked it all. And then I thought about how the next day was this public thing and how today could be potentially very challenging too. And I might really need it to, like, kind of calm down at the end. It did feel, like, when I first smoked it, it did feel amazingly calming. Like, I did relax down, and I was like, ah. Like, it was such a relief. It was like a sigh of relief from smoking it. But then I felt a little worried. I did feel very high, because I hadn't even eaten yet. Like, I'd been so hungry. I'd been so hungry that I had Mr. Noodles for lunch, didn't eat anything else, came home with all the food. I didn't eat any of it, though. I even had crackers in my backpack that I had forgotten about. But anyway, yeah, so I got high before even eating, and I was so high. Like, tolerance went down probably a bit over that time. Anyway, yeah, so here we are. I'm not feeling too shitty. I mean, I am kind of, like, my husband was just quiet. Like, he didn't comment. He didn't make me feel judged that I was going. But then, like, I was all in my head about it after I came back. And then I was high too, so maybe paranoid. So, yeah, I started to feel kind of like down about it a little bit. Like I didn't go fully into it. You know how you can just kind of step lightly into an emotion sometimes? Sort of. I was like, I knew that there was a dangerous point there to not go fully into it. Like, don't spiral right down. I mean, that's the point of having the weed, right? So that won't happen. Of course, it's not foolproof. So then, I just didn't really talk to him for the whole rest of the evening, and I went to bed. I didn't really even talk to the kids that much, which felt weird. And I missed their bedtime, but it was because I was walking. I was just still trying to deal with the, like, sitting inside the house and being high, and then feeling like maybe I was being looked down on, or like that I was a fuck up, right? Like, I really can't do this right now. Like, I can't spend a bunch of money. I'm already acting like that I can't afford coffee, so how can I afford 6 joints? Anyway, though, it's not like I'm going to sell them, so yeah, I'm going to smoke them. I have them. And I'm just going to try to keep it reasonable. Wish me luck. Wish me luck with my event. Bye!